Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie. Last time we unlocked the first world, Mumbo's Mountain, and in this episode we are going to enter it. So let's go ahead and get this adventure started. So yeah, this is the first world of the game. Bottles here is basically going to let us know what moves are located throughout the different levels. This being the first one, we have, I believe we have 2 different moves that we're actually going to learn in this level. But yeah, so as you can see, this level has many collectibles, such as the Hub World and Spiral Mountain, and Gratilla's Lair, of course. As you can see, we've actually saved a Jinjo. So basically, Jinjos are one of the main collectibles, apart from the Jiggies, and we have notes, we have Mumbo tokens. So basically, the main objective is to collect as many of the collectibles as possible. Collecting all 5 Jinjos actually rewards you with the Jigsaw, a Jiggy. And as you can see, we've collected some notes there. You will actually receive a Jiggy for collecting all 5 Jinjos, and then there are 9 other ones throughout the level. There are a total of 10 Jiggies spread out throughout each of the main levels. So it is important to try to find as many as you can, because again, I believe you actually need most of them as a requirement to beat the game and to access the final boss. However, in this Let's Play, we are actually going to find every single Jigsaw. So as you can see, there's another trail of notes. Notes are important as well. You do not receive a Jiggy for collecting all of them. There are a total of 100 notes throughout each level. This is actually a beehive, so it actually holds honeycomb. So these are basically your health regeneration items. I kind of explained that in the last episode. But here we have our first mini boss, and this is Conga. Grr, this Conga's tree, me hit bear with oranges. So what you want to do is just step on those, or stand on these orange switches or platforms, and let Conga throw his oranges at those, and that will give you your first Jiggy of the level. And as you can see, the Jiggy on the screen is actually explaining kind of what I've already explained already. And then Bottles basically lets you know that you can leave the world by stepping on that pad that you arrived on when you entered the world. But if we go over here, Chimpy hungry, wants orange now, feed Chimpy. We have a little chimp, and he wants an orange. So what we want to do is actually go over to Conga's tree, climb up it, and you'll actually collect one of his oranges. Hey, that Conga's orange. Put it back. Yum. Oranges are nice. So yeah, the chimp wants one of the orange, so you just collect it from Conga's tree, throw it over to him. Oh, Chimpy like Conga's orange. Chimpy help Fat Bear and Bird. Man, he's rude for... We just did him a favor and gave him some food free. Didn't have to do it at all, and he called us fat. It's kind of rude. But anyways, you'll get your next Jiggy from doing that. And we have some other stuff we can do here as well. As you can see, there's a molehill, so we'll be able to learn a new move here. And we have eggs. Eggs are important collectible as well, because Kazooie will actually be able to shoot eggs out of her beak. But first, we have to go ahead and learn the move here. We're going to learn the ancient ways of the egg. I'm listening, Beetle Breath. Man, Kazooie just really goes to town with the insults on Bottles. But basically what we want to do here is basically just, as you can see, Bottles is saying once we have learned this move, we can now fire eggs out of Kazooie's beak. There's actually a couple different ways you can fire eggs from Kazooie. You can actually... She actually can... fire them out of her rear. As weird as that sounds, that is something that she can do. So we're given a total or a maximum of 100 eggs. He gives us 50 there. But you can hold up to 100 eggs at a time. But if we go over here, me safe here, bear can't with hit Conga, we can actually now fire eggs at Conga. So this is our first little mini boss. There's not a lot of these in the game. That's actually something I kind of wish there was a little bit more of. The sequel of this game does have a lot more boss fights. But if we hit Conga with enough eggs, he will eventually give up. Bear beat Conga, me give prize to bear. And he will release another Jiggy. So right off the bat, you're pretty much given several Jiggies just, you know, with minimal effort. But it's the first world, so that's kind of what to expect. We still have 7 more to collect, so our work is far from over in this level. So we will go ahead and continue on. But now that we've learned the egg firing move, we have 3 Jiggies. As you can see, we can't get up there. That's a... Dane's a bit slippy, huh? Find me and I'll teach you how to get up there, or up steep slopes. So actually there's 3 moves. I was wrong. 3 moves we actually learned in this game. The second one is going to actually allow us to get up those slopes. And as you saw in Grottilda's lair, there was one of those slopes as well that we could not get up. And we actually need to get up there to reach the remainder of the worlds in Grottilda's lair in the game. As you can see, there's a Jiggy right here. So we're going to go ahead and just jump up here and snatch it since it's just out in the open. There's no tricks, no traps. We'll just go ahead and grab it. And we have another molehill. The Talon Trot will let Kazooie tackle steep slopes with ease. So finally we learn the Talon Trot. So this is probably going to be the most used move you will use in the game. I definitely use it the most. And you will see here in a little bit why. So basically, if you basically do what Bottles is saying, Kazooie will be able to do the Talon Trot, which is basically a move that allows Kazooie to walk on her own legs. So Banjo kind of lets Kazooie do all the walking. It's kind of cool how she just kind of pops out of the backpack, somehow gets her legs through it, or below it. But it's kind of cool nonetheless. She kind of just pops out of the backpack and she does a little Talon Trot, so you can now climb up steep slopes, and you can walk up a lot of steep like mountainsides. It's very useful and definitely one of the most, I would say, one of the most beneficial moves in the entire game. We have several more moves we're going to learn throughout the game, so this is just one of the basic, or one of the initial ones, but I think this is the most useful one. But now we'll go ahead and collect the rest of the notes here. We have another Jinjo. We have just one more of them to collect, and we'll get a Jiggy there. And looks like we have enough notes to break through the first note door. I believe you only need 50. So here's the thing. You only need a minimum of 50 notes to actually proceed through the game. And of course, this Talon Trot move, and I think all the moves in this level. But we're going to collect all 100 because we are going to 100% this game. Because that's something that I like to do. I've done it before. It's really not hard at all. Like, I understand people that don't want to go through the extra trouble of grabbing every single item. Personally, for me, I think that's one of the big positives of this game. So as you can see, there's a termite in here. He recognizes us as a bear and bird, and obviously decides that we are not one of him. And obviously we can't climb any further. Even with the Talon Trot, we can't climb up there. But there's something we can do to actually get up there. But what we want to do is actually go over to this molehill. We're going to learn our third and final move of this level. I call this a Beak Buster, or the Beak Buster jump. Wow, I can't read. This is Beak Buster. Jump into the air, hit the right or left trigger, and send Kazooie slamming hard down to the floor. Gulp. I don't like the sound of that. That doesn't sound really good. But it's actually going to be quite useful for us, because we'll actually be able to break various objects that have more collectibles in them. Alright, so as you can see, Bottles basically lets us know that we can no longer learn any more moves, or there's no more moves to learn in this level. That's the last of the moves. It's kind of nice that he lets you know that. That way you kind of have an idea of how much more of the level you have to explore to get all the moves. Sometimes there's only, I think there's maybe a few levels where there's maybe like one move you learn. But for the most part, you're going to be learning at least 1 or 2 of them per level. As you can see, now that we have the Beak Buster move, we can break these little hut things, grab that little Mumbo token, or Shaman token, and I think it has 2 different names technically. Those are going to be useful here coming up very soon, and I'll kind of explain what those do here once we use them. But for now, we're going to go ahead and break these huts, grab the last Jinjo, and he releases a Jiggy over there. We'll go ahead and get that after we break these huts. And of course, there's more notes, and this last one has a Jiggy in it as well. We are getting right through this level with no trouble at all. We're already halfway done. So what we want to do now, actually I'm going to go ahead and grab that Jiggy that the Jinjo release. That'll actually be number 6. We only have 4 more Jiggies to get. Now what we want to do is actually go up here to these little tiki guys. We Juju Mumbo's totem pole, or totem pole I should say. Feed us with nice blue stones. So basically, yes, you basically want to use Kazooie's egg, launch attack, or egg fire and attack, and feed them in their mouths. Make sure the eggs go into their mouths. You kind of have to time it. I'm making it look far more complicated than it is. Actually, in my last playthrough, I did this with no problem at all. But before you destroy or feed the last part of the totem pole, you want to jump on them and grab that extra honeycomb. Otherwise, you can't get it. I think you actually have to leave the level and come back for them to respawn, if I remember correctly. But once you feed the last one, you get another Jiggy. So they are just handing them out like candy. Again, this is the first world, so this is kind of like, again, just kind of getting you, really mainly just focus on getting you more familiar with the game. And as you can see, there's another one literally up in this little hut here, and this is actually Mumbo's hut. So Mumbo is an NPC in this game that is going to allow us to actually, well, so basically what he's going to do is he's going to allow us to transform into various transformations that will allow us to collect more items or collectibles in the game. As you can see, he's got a number 5 with the Mumbo token picture up there. That basically means, me Mumbo, best shaman in all game, can help Banjo and Filthy Feathered 1. Watch it, Hut Boy. Mumbo's magic tokens hid by witch. Find tokens and Mumbo help you. Banjo not got enough tokens. So basically, yeah, so we basically need 5 Mumbo tokens to actually activate our first transformation. He's always going to have that sign with the amount of Mumbo tokens that are required. It's actually really easy to find Mumbo tokens throughout the game. There are a few of them that are kind of hidden pretty well. But for the most part, the first few worlds are pretty easy to find. So collecting Mumbo tokens and finding them and having enough, I've never had an issue with it. I've never ever had an instance where I like literally couldn't find enough to have enough for the transformation. But once you do have enough, of course we need one more here. So we want to actually go get that one, come back, and there's another Jiggy waiting for us right here. And then we can transform into something else. And you'll see kind of what I'm talking about once we get there. But we want to finish collecting these notes. I think this actually might be the last bit of them. Go ahead and collect these. But yeah, Mumbo is pretty useful because you'll basically see here in a minute, but we're going to be able to scale another part of the level. We've actually already went into the area already, but we have to do it in a different form, which is basically not in Baron Bird form. So we will have different forms throughout the game, and each world will have a different transformation. But actually going back down here, I kind of forgot to do something after learning the Beak Buster move. Once we do that, we can actually go up here where we learn the egg firing move, jump over here, and actually there's a Mumbo token right there as well. And we have a switch with Gruntilda's face on it. Use the Beak Buster move, and that will actually activate a basically like a secret or an extra Jiggy that only appears in Gruntilda's lair, which is the hub world. Each world's going to have a Gruntilda switch, so it's very important to make sure you find that if you're going for all the Jiggies in the game. Because of course there are, man, Congo's still pissed at us for what we kicked his butt earlier. But if you're going for 100% of the game, there are also 10 Jiggies located in Gruntilda's lair. So yes, you not only have 10 Jiggies in each of the main worlds, you have 10 Jiggies to find in the main hub world as well. So this game definitely has a lot to explore and a lot to collect, which is one of the reasons why I love it so much. But now we're going to go ahead and head back into Mumbo's hut since we have enough Mumbo tokens. And we will now activate our first transformation. Banjo has plenty tokens. Stand on Skull and press X to see Mighty Mumbo magic. The Mumbo's gonna do his shaman thing, and he's gonna use his magic to transform us into a little termite. So yes, and as crazy as this is our first transformation. This is just the first one of several. But you'll kind of see what this one allows us to do. This is probably my least favorite. It's probably not the greatest looking one because we're a termite for one. But there's something funny we can kind of do once we go over to the, as you know, we went into that little area where the other termites were, the bigger ones. So now we can actually proceed further there. But if we go over here to these bigger termites, hey, where did you get those shorts? I want them. Man, these guys are bullies, so they actually are interested in our clothes since they can't figure out why we have it. Give me that cool backpack or else. These guys are bullies, man. We're one of your own kind. Like, we could be extinct for crying out loud. Like, anybody could just kill us. And you're treating me like that? Like, we should stick together, man. But anyways, enough of my nonsense. That's just kind of funny that you're able to do that. So they're basically kind of... They're still kind of mean to you, but they respect the fact that you're a termite, so this one will not say anything once you enter. But now we can jump up here, and as a termite, our legs are going to allow us to actually climb over those very steep ledges that we weren't able to do with the Talon Trot. As you can see, we have found all 100 notes in the world, so that is going to be another check off the completion chart. Since we are almost have all the jiggies, we have all the notes, have all the Jinjos. We're collecting everything in each of these levels, and we're going to continue to do that. So we're going to pop out here, and we are now at the top of this little termite mountain, hill thing, whatever you want to call this. And we have our last jiggy on the top of this mountain. So that is all the jiggies of the level. So as you can see, it didn't take us very long at all. Of course, this is the first world, so this one doesn't take quite as long to 100%. But as you can see, we have a nice view of Mumbo's mountain. There's his Mumbo's hut over there. We have Conga just acting like a fool down there. He's just acting crazy. But before we actually want to exit the level, there's one more thing we can get as the termite. Technically, there's actually two. If you crawl down here, you can actually reach this empty honeycomb, the second one of the level. And there's actually going to be two empty honeycombs in each of the levels, so that's something to keep in mind as well. So 10 jiggies, 100 notes, 2 honeycombs, or extra honeycombs, and of course all the other collectibles you have as well, like the Jinjos, the eggs, and everything else. But now we want to actually exit the level as the termite, climb up here above the entrance, and that will allow us to grab that jiggy that we activated with the Gruntilda switch. Hey, where did you get those shorts? I want them. Man, these guys really are into our shorts. I don't know what it is about them, but I guess they're in the style for termites. And it looks like Grunty is not happy with us since we are making some progress. So now we want to just kind of leave. And if you leave as the termite or any other transformation outside of the hub world, Mumbo magic get weak and will turn back, or else the magic will wear off. So yeah, basically the magic all gone. Must go back to bear and bird. So once you leave far enough from the different worlds, as the transformation, the Mumbo's magic, of course, will run out because you're too far away from him, and you'll go back to regular Banjo-Kazooie. Now we have Talon Trot. We can climb up here, and we have our first note door to allow us to proceed further into Grunty's lair. This is a note door sealed by Grunty with one of her powerful musical spells. Open it up then, jam jars. It's not that simple to open it. You must collect the musical notes from the worlds. As you know, we already have our first 100 notes. We collected all the notes from the first world, Mumbo's Mountain. We only needed 50, but we have more than enough to get through. So he's basically just telling us each note door is a combined total of all the different worlds. So let's say there's a, for example, this one has 50. So as you know, we have 100 in total, but that's split between all the different worlds. So if we had 50 from one world and 50 from another world, and we had to open a note door, that would still be enough. So that door was easy. You got past. Unfortunately, you're first and last. All right, so Grunty's a little confident that we're not going to get to her, but I think we're kind of proving her wrong already. I mean, we've already got past the first world, but if you come down here, you will activate a cauldron, magic cauldron. So these guys are basically nice for easy transportation around the main hub area, Gruntilda's lair. I think there's a total of 6, I want to say. So you basically have to find a pair of 2 of the same color. So once we find another one that looks like a purplish pink color, we will be able to actually transport ourselves between the different areas. But now we are in the next area of Grunty's lair. This is kind of like the main, I kind of refer to it as like a lobby. It's kind of like the main entrance area, I guess, with Gruntilda's big face down there. And here we have Bruntilda. Hello there, young ones. I'm Bruntilda, Gruntilda's nicer sister. I've crept down here to help you defeat the old hag. Man, nothing like sisterly love, am I right? It's about time she was taught a lesson. I know of Grunty's disgusting secret. So basically, Bruntilda, she's kind of useful for a much later part of the game. You'll kind of see what I'm talking about once we get there. But that is much later on towards the end. But she's basically going to tell you 3 different secrets at a time. She's actually spread out throughout the layer as well. She's in many different areas. She's going to basically tell you 3 secrets at one time. These secrets are important for later on. You don't necessarily have to really remember them all right now, really at all for the most part, but I'll kind of talk about that once we kind of get there. But there's a part towards the end of the game that we have to remember those 4, but for now, we're gonna go ahead and jump over on this puzzle pad, and we have another level to unlock, and this is Treasure Trove Cove. So Bottle's basically gonna tell us if we basically want to remove pieces. Let's say we have maybe there's a level we didn't want to unlock yet, or we don't have enough jiggies, or we want to unlock a different level. You can remove pieces. This is kind of pointless But anyways, we only need 2 Jiggies to unlock this level. As you know, we already have over 10. We'll go ahead and fill in the missing pieces, and we will unlock the next world, Treasure Trove Cove. One of my favorites. And now we have to navigate the layer to go ahead and find that level. What we're going to do is actually travel through here, and as you see, Gruntilda has... Man, she's a horrible decorator. I mean, I know this is her lair, and I know Gruntilda is literally like a witch and everything, but I mean, come on, this is pretty nasty and pretty gross. I mean, just my opinion. But here we have another cauldron. This one's an orange one. So this will actually not connect to the other one since it's a different color. So we need to find not only another pink one, but another orange one as well. Grab another Mumbo token up here. But yeah, I just kind of think that Gruntilda kind of lives very not sanitary. Like everything looks very nasty. There's water dripping all over the place. I know there's these big pipes. But up here we can actually grab a gold feather. These will actually allow us to use an invincibility function that we have not actually activated yet. You have to actually find another Bottles Molehill to learn that move, so we won't really get too in-depth with that move right now. For now, we're just going to focus on traveling down here, because this will take us to Treasure Trove Cove, and this is the next world of the game. So next time on Banjo-Kazooie, we are going to take on World 2, Treasure Trove Cove. One of my favorites. It's going to be one heck of a time. Until then, I will see you guys later.